Mr. Chairman, time is short, so I will get right to the question of protecting free speech. First, as a senator from Oregon and a Portlander, I want to begin by asking this afternoon who Americans believe is the real threat to our constitutional rights. Is it the Oregonians who gathered in my hometown in overwhelmingly peaceful protests for racial justice since the murder of George Floyd? Or is it the heavily armed secret police who snatched Portlanders off the streets into unmarked vans and interrogated them without justification or charges? Is it the wall of moms, the courageous women like my friend Sharon Myron, an emergency room physician and a county commissioner who put themselves in harm's way to protect their neighbors? Or is it the unidentifiable federal paramilitary forces who, without provocation, batoned and tear gassed those moms and their fellow protesters? Is it the peacefully gathered Portlanders who raised their hands in the air and sang the words, "Hands up, please don't shoot," to the tune of a lullaby? Or is it a duplicitous president who called Oregonians professional anarchists, professional agitators, people who hate our country, and called my hometown a beehive of terrorists? This argument that Americans exercising their right to peaceful protest are anarchists, terrorists, and agitators is bad faith nonsense. Violent conflict in Portland was down before Donald Trump got involved. Portlanders are standing up for justice. I've seen Black Lives Matter activists in Portland and other cities trying mightily to prevent acts of vandalism because, as they point out eloquently, it certainly distracts from their calls for justice and equality. Mr. Chairman, the Associated Press did an analysis of 200 Portland arrests, and they found that most who were charged for nonviolent acts did not fit the depiction of an anarchist. They did their analysis, Mr. Chairman, on the basis of public records, court documents. I would ask unanimous consent that we could put the Associated Press analysis into the record.
Without objection.
So, Mr. Chairman, why make these baseless conspiratorial accusations and send in secret police? Donald Trump sent in the secret police to create images of chaos for political gain, to air in campaign ads and provide a basis for bad faith discussions. Fortunately, in the days since federal forces backed off, the chaos has largely stopped in Portland. But the president is still getting the scenes of violence for the ads that he wanted, and he threatens further escalation in Portland and elsewhere. Now, this nonsense about leftist anarchy also papers over the murders and vandalism committed by far-right domestic terrorists. Those murders have been on the rise. Far-right criminals have been caught committing acts of vandalism at the scenes of Black Lives Matter protests. This baseless talk about leftist anarchy also erases the work done by all those who stood up in peaceful protest to declare that Black Lives Matter. In the wake of the murder of George Floyd, millions and millions of Americans, all ages, all ethnicities, all backgrounds, participated in protests calling for an end to inequality and violence against Black Americans. All of this talk about leftist anarchy is just a big deflection from the nationwide call for justice. So I can just say in closing, Mr. Chairman, that Portlanders did not feel protected by Donald Trump's secret police forces. So I agree there's a serious danger to Americans' constitutional rights at this unique moment in history. And it's caused to a great extent by the president and his enablers who are calling peaceful protesters anarchists and terrorists and sending paramilitary forces into America's cities. And Mr. Chairman, I think perhaps Senator Merkley is ready now as well.